Dude, you never know how many weird things are going on in this world. This hippo looks like a kind of guy who wants his Twitter to go viral overnight. So he takes a selfie with the driver and then writes a fake tweet. You know what? This tweet really goes viral. But in fact, there's nothing to do with the hippo or the driver. Did you see that Gilletta in the corner of the picture? This dude looks dope, right? Is he a rap star? What the fuck's wrong with him? He's gonna kill everybody, including you.
My bad. Here's where the whole story begins.
Oddtaxi is a Japanese anime television series aired from April to June last year. And let me make it clear here, this is my best anime of 2021. And someone may say, hey Carter, you are talking shit again. Guys, this is also the most incredible story script I've ever seen in Japanese anime for the last 2 years. Here is Oddtaxi Anime Review. The taxi is pulled over by a pair of cop brothers after the two guys take a selfie. I call them Big Diamond and Little Diamond. They ask the driver if he knows the whereabouts of a criminal called Dobu. Wait, remember that Gilletta in the photo at the beginning? Right, he's the wanted criminal for the disappearance of a schoolgirl. I thought the Diamond brothers were Snoopy, but I searched them online, they are actually meerkats. Then I found out they're 36. What the fuck, they're 36? Oddtaxi takes an odd and silent taxi driver, Odokawa, as the protagonist. The story revolves around him and the various passengers with various personalities. Their conversation with all these people unravel into a series of mysteries and violence. And the story will eventually connect with the truth of a missing high school girl. Okay, so look at the art here. It doesn't look like Japanese anime at all, right? This is a world of anthropomorphic animals. The ordinary-looking taxi driver walrus is our protagonist, Odokawa, who lives a normal life. Obviously, he drives a taxi for a living. At work, he meets all various unique people, like the college student Mr. Hippo, who is dead set on going viral, comedians, idols, producers, avid idol fans, idiot gamer. Don't ask me why I call him an idiot. Did you ever see anyone addicted to top-up games and continue to put a lot of money on gacha on those shitty games? That doesn't make sense, right? Damn, I feel like I'm making fun of myself. Cop brothers, nerds, by the way, she's so cute. And against her, Gilletta Dobu. It is in such a city that a group of unrelated people affect each other's fate because of a series of events. And the person who makes their fates intertwine is our taxi driver Odokawa. Okay, now you know. Sometimes just don't be mean to our Lyft and Uber drivers. They probably know who your girl likes. So I don't know what your first impression is, but I'm curious about why you're into this series. So I started to watch it on the recommendation of one of my best friends, so I came to watch it with that kind of curiosity. But I guess some people will ignore this anime because of the art and the animals. If not, just forget what I say. And think about it, the anime is obviously different from the art style at the beginning. The anime may look cute, wow, small animals. I even thought it was a promotion animation for Animals On, but it shows me a clip of sinking dead body from the very beginning. I remember when I saw Dobu in the dark corner in the first episode and with that kind of creepy music. They are missing schoolgirls, disappearing drugs, secret deals, and this somewhat suspenseful little things will tell you the story may not be as simple as you think. So in fact, you can completely ignore the animal appearance of the characters, because the story itself is the key of this anime. But what really hooked me was its 4th episode. Do you remember the idiot gamer I mentioned earlier? He appears in the 4th episode as the main character of a single episode with a completely different story from the previous 3 episodes. And this episode gave me a feeling. It's actually pretty embarrassing to say. It's just, I can feel him. Yeah, I can't say me and Mr. Puma are exactly the same. Okay, I'm not kind of idiot spending money on mobile games every day. Let me briefly describe this. You saw an SSR character in a mobile game and you love him or her so bad. Then you spend some money to buy a bunch of in-game currency like diamonds, hearts, or even send coins to receive a random virtual character. And you know that people are not that lucky, so you keep charging. Those of you who haven't played similar gacha games before may not understand. Like after experiencing similar things, you will have such an obsession with this item that you didn't get. I feel that. I feel that. And this is the episode that really got me invested in Oddtaxi. If you are worried that the previous episodes are boring, that's not going to happen. Oddtaxi can be said to be full of details and clues. Every shot, every clip, every conversation is meaningful to the story. The conversation is sometimes it's cute, but I can't get Japanese humor that much. Besides, you don't have to worry about the diversity of characters. There's even a real rapper in the show. By the way he talks is really annoying.
Hey, what happened?
Some people will say, hey, I'm here for waifu. And they're afraid that there isn't any cute girl. Oh, come on, why the fuck you're here? See this alpaca, don't tell me she's not cute. And then we have so many lovely idols. Look at that voice actress. Live from Love Live! So basically, Oddtaxi is an anime for everyone to watch. Unless you just want to watch that slice of life type of anime to eat a cup of noodles, I guarantee the story of Oddtaxi won't let you down. Character design is one of the things I think is very interesting about this anime, because you can almost guess their personalities just by looking at them. Do you ever think, I can suddenly remember those characters look like? The driver looks like this, the doctor looks like this, the nurse looks like this, the comedian looks like this, like this, like this, like this. For characters, the one that impressed me the most was the crazy gamer Tanaka. I'm not saying I'm impressed because I'm a stupid gamer too. And I don't know if you can feel something like humility and vanity. So think about it, you spend a lot of money on gacha to draw a pretty weird character. But because of being disturbed by a taxi, your phone fell into a gutter. Then your character, your waifu, fades away from you. Do your spirit die? But in fact, Tanaka keeps looking for a taxi because being able to find that taxi is a small possibility event. Then, that's a gacha. Dude, you're still a gambler after all. In fact, that happens. You work hard and you spend a lot of money to get that character. When you're ready to get it, so what? You spend 50,000 bucks on a nice dinner. So what? You spend a few minutes DIY on Pornhub. After you so what? Yeah, also the same as shopping. The pleasure is like only momentary. Then Odokawa actually has been suffering from a mental condition called visual agnosia. It's an impairment in recognition of visually presented objects. What's happening on Odokawa is that he sees everyone as an animal. I honestly didn't think about this from the beginning. I really thought they would be animals. And this was actually cute at the beginning of the story, but I just didn't notice that the first time I watched it. There's always been a mysterious creature hidden in Odokawa's house. When Daimon asked him, he also expressed uncertainty. Hey, how I know? And even if it is an animal, he just can't tell whether it's a human or something else. The characters themselves are not animals. They actually have their own human image. Even some characters have animal images that look exactly the same as the human images. But I think it's better for Miss Alpaca to keep her animal look. So basically, Oddtaxi is an anime that needs you to think along with the story. While watching this anime, it gave me kind of feeling like I'm always guessing what's going to happen. It's actually a little different from the anime like Detective Conan. In fact, many can be inferred from some details that already exist in the early anime, just like a mysterious creature in Odokawa's house I just mentioned. And some tragic characters like Tanaka will make me feel ashamed. But of course, I will still put some money into the game. And the things like what happens in the city, it just makes you feel real. The multiple narrative gives you the story of various characters, and finally leads to the ending of the experience of a schoolgirl. And many characters find their own redemption at the end. There are also many video creators on Bilibili say that Oddtaxi is actually more of a Japanese drama. Even if we ignore its interesting character design, art style, or even a single shot, it's still a good anime. Because telling a story is always the core of film and anime. 9 out of 10. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and share. My channel is mainly focusing on reviews, analysis, and creation of anime films and games. If you are interested in the content, you can click subscribe on the right of the video. And I will see you next week.